Welcome back everyone, it's me again, Maximus, and I appreciate you being on today's video. We're discussing some more artillery related military topics, and today's military topic is what is more preferable, an automatic artillery weapon system or a crew-manned artillery system with gunners on the barrel. Now, for me, this is a debate that I've had with many people in the past, and I'm very new to the artillery world, so I don't have a huge say in this matter, but I do have some sort of preferences that I would like to definitely think that are more prevalent to what I would think is a better option than anything else. Now, a lot of people have said to me, Maximus, I really think that the artillery should go towards more of a self-propelled system. We should be driving around everything. Nothing should be set as the field guns. Field guns are redundant. Field guns are not useful anymore. They're too timely to set up. It takes too long. Blah, blah, blah. There's a whole list of reasons which people say field guns are obsolete. They need to be put in these new automated systems. And it's really a battle of the machines versus humans again. Which is better? And we've had the topic and debate on tanks before, whether or not autoloaders or manual loaders, a person loading the main gun on the tank, is more effective and more efficient. If you want to go check that video out, you're more than welcome to. And today we're kind of siding along the same things. Now, the artillery is the king of battle. Let's be honest about it. I'm just kidding. I know a lot of you are probably triggered by me saying that. But it's true that the artillery is a requirement on the battlefield. We need as much firepower and most accurate amounts of firepower sent downrange as possible. And a lot of the time, it comes down to who can deploy the gun, set up the gun, and fire the gun quicker than the other. Because rounds downrange is most important, and getting the troops support as they need it. Because artillery is a requirement, a necessity to cover those troops going into battle. Now, as you can see by these Marines here working very diligently and hard to get in these M777's positions, it is a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of manpower to get these guns in position. The M777s are a heavy beast. Now, I'm not qualified on M777. Some people in my unit are, and I know many people who have been using these guns in the past. An amazing piece of equipment. I have done a video on this also in the past. If you want to learn a bit about the gun, feel free to go check that video out. But you can see the amount of effort and requirement of teamwork that is needed to get these guns in position. And that's inherent on any field gun. They're a lot of work. They're heavy pieces of equipment. When you're firing 155mm shells down range and having to get propellant to send it down that way, there's a lot of metal there needing to do so. And the 777 is no exception to the rule that it is a lot of teamwork and manpower and effort needed to get it in place. Now, my real focus on, this kind of topic, whether it be machine or man doing the work, is what are you actually getting out of it? Okay, so first of all, you can see that it is taking them some time to get these guns deployed and set up in location. That's one thing I would definitely say is, a disadvantage of using field guns, because they do take a lot of manpower to put into position to set up. Time-wise, it depends on how, qualified of a crew you are, how proficient of a crew you are, and just like any team that runs like clockwork, they've had a lot of practice, a lot of experience together. A robot or an automated machine, such as the Archer system or some of the other systems I've done videos on, they're really quite simple. You pull up into position, the machinery takes over, and you basically put in your coordinates and off you go. With a field gun, it's not quite as simple as that. As you can see, some of the guys are having to dig in trails, pull out the trails, pull the wheels up, and then it comes down to really firing the gun itself, putting rounds in the breech, being able to, accurately place rounds onto target, loading it quickly again, and then repeating the process. Again, robots are able to do this quite efficiently because everything is automated and already predetermined via engineering and such. Now, in my personal opinion, and I'm going to state this as I am not a subject matter expert of the artillery or these kind of weapon systems, but in my own personal opinion, I will always side with having a manned crew on the gun line instead of these automated machines that are doing the work for you. The interesting part is even the machines require some sort of human intervention or human interaction to be able to fire the rounds. It's not 100% automated. Some systems are getting extremely close to that, but there still is some manual intervention that's required to be able to send rounds down range. Now, a lot of people say, well, an automated system can load the gun a lot quicker than a man-made crew, and I would beg to differ. When you talk about a crew who is proficient and able to get rounds into that breech and into the barrel as quickly as possible, and they practice and practiced, trust me, there is no machine that's going to beat the capacity of the human being putting rounds down range, because it comes down to ownership of being on the gun line, being proud of what you're doing, and somewhat of a friendly competition between the other guns. If you see gun lines and how well they work together between gun positions, you'll see how fast the troops are trying to accurately get rounds down range, reload and fire again. It's freaking impressive. It brings the hairs on the back of my neck to stand up, because it's an amazing experience being part of a crew who knows what they're doing, are proud to do what they do, and they want to beat the next gun. They want to get that round off on target as quickly as possible, as accurately as possible. And it's just really, really cool to see, and that the brotherhood and being able to work together as a team like that, there's nothing better than it. You don't get that with a machine, you don't get that with a robot, you don't get that with automatic loaders. It is basically just a crew inside the cab pressing buttons. Is that as effective? Maybe, but I really don't think it brings the core ethos of the military into its spotlight. The brotherhood and the family of the artillery is a strong, strong thing. We're taught from day one as a gunner that you're part of something big, you're part of a crew, a team, a regiment that is there to provide support to troops on the ground. When you're just pressing buttons on a screen, it doesn't seem quite as, I guess, proficient in that manner. It doesn't feel like you're really part of a family. I mean, I've never used these automated systems, but working as a gun crew really does bring that camaraderie together and brings that pride of being part of a gun line. And in terms of loading and unloading and actually being able to reload these guns very quickly, I want you to take a look at this footage. The first set of footage is from a new system, a sort of automated self-propelled gun. It's a 155mm gun, same as the M777. And the footage afterwards is a footage of a gun crew doing a fire mission, rapid succession rounds down range on the M777, just as a gun crew, human intervention. And I want you to just count the timing between the number of rounds being sent down range on the automatic loading system and then the number of rounds being sent down range by the manual crew, and we'll discuss it afterwards.
It's about to get real loud and nasty right now.
Ready.
4.
Here we go, baby.
3.
Here we go.
2.
Stand by.
1. They're gonna blast.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4,
They're
5,
real nasty right now.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1,
I haven't seen this
2,
since my first
3,
in the Marine Corps.
4, 5,
This is unheard
6,
of almost in
7,
these days.
8, 9, 10. So as you can see there, folks, that crew was able to get 3 rounds down, 1 every 10 seconds. So 3 rounds in 30 seconds. Now the other system was able to do 3 rounds in 18 seconds. But remember that it's 3 rounds in 18 seconds. However, these guys have a constant supply of ammunition. They are able to pick it up and get going. That automated system would have to individually pick up 3 rounds each time to load into the bustle. This crew can continuously feed 1 round each time, every time, onto the rack, into the breech, into the barrel, and off it goes. That machine, although automated, can get rounds into that loading system fairly quickly via the crane, it does not have that continuous supply like this crew does. Now, the advantages of the automatic system is that it can be deployed very, very quickly on wheels, and it can drop its trails and off it goes. However, as you saw, there is still manual intervention from the crew members on the floor of that system. They're still having to put the bag charge in there. It's not fully automated. However, the other kind of variation of this system is where it is, and you're seeing that as of right now. So it's basically a 3-round projectile carrier, I guess, and then the bag charge can also be placed onto that ready rack to insert at the same time, which is really kind of stepping towards the fully automatic system. However, a lot of people that say, you know, oh, this gun can be deployed quicker and it's got a fast autoloader system, I must introduce you to my friend the self-propelled gun. Just as automated as anything else, the self-propelled gun can do just as much as the automation can for the loading as with the deployment. The gun is on tracks, it's self-deployed on its own vehicle, it doesn't need any kind of trails or any kind of towing system to pull it in place. It is on the gun in the platform of the tank. However, this is also a system that can be done via troops on the ground. That means the gunners are the ones inside the turret doing the work of loading and sending rounds down range. Again, it is a time-consuming process reloading that gun. However, the timing doesn't change a whole lot from the automated system as well. The crew is still able to put rounds into the breech very quickly and send them down range. The argument that most people give me when I talk about automated versus crew loading systems is that the crew get tired very quickly, and as you can see from those Marines in that previous footage, they were pretty darn tired, and no doubt they were working their socks off. That one guy pushing rounds in, with one rammer, that's crazy. It's normally a 2-person job to ram those projectiles into the breech, so that guy's clearly a machine. Very, very impressive. But, when it comes to the self-propelled side of things and, having the crew inside, a lot of that sort of, manual labor is reduced when you're in a self-propelled gun. You don't have to sort of dig in the trails, all that sort of stuff. Everything's in place. Understandably, it is hard work to load projectiles and bag charges and moving the guns around all day. Trust me, I've done it myself. It's a lot of hard work manually. And yes, gunners get tired. But again, when it comes to pride, ownership, and in a combat environment, you can never underestimate the power of a soldier when they're really wanting to get into the thick of it, and especially gunners when they're working as a team. Yeah, we get tired, but we push through it and we keep going. We keep on putting rounds down range because lives are at stake at the other end. When a robot or a machine fails or breaks, you're in a lot of trouble. Can you imagine the complexity of that machine and that auto-loading system failing, and how difficult it would be to repair or fix that thing? It would not be as simple as, okay, change the breech block out and off we go. This thing looks like it's an absolute nightmare to fix. Hydraulics, runners, rams, cam pins, all sorts of things going on that could fail fairly easily. And in dusty, horrible, slimy conditions, wet, cold, snow, I can see these systems being a really difficult thing to maintain and to keep going. When it comes to a gun position and a field gun, the crew will keep going no matter what. They need food, they need water, and yes, they do need those amenities to keep going, unlike a robot does. But when a gunner is broken, they can still get by. They're still able to, for the most part, operate the machinery and operate the gun as needed. Yes, we get injured. Yes, we are at risk of getting counter-artillery fire, but just as much as anything, automated systems would have the same problem. Hydraulic lines being hit by shrapnel. You can't protect all the hydraulic lines on an automated machine. You can't protect chains, cams, rams, all that sort of stuff. All that stuff would be exposed to shrapnel and indirect fire also. So that argument really doesn't work too well either. Overall, folks, I must admit, it's an interesting conversation and dynamic to talk to people about this kind of topic, because it is really pros and cons, and they're very, very tight in tolerances when it comes to which one would be the best. Now, this isn't a video for me to say which one is better. I'll leave that up to your own discretion, your own judgment call. For my own personal opinion, being that I am a gunner and I'm a human, I'm always going to be on the gun line. I'm always going to want to be the one helping my guys put rounds down range effectively and accurately to support ground troops out there. But, of course, technology is changing, times are changing, and maybe in the future we will see more of these automated systems. Who knows? I hope you enjoyed today's video, folks. Let me know of your opinion and your feedback to not only, the guns themselves, but this video. I'd love to hear your opinion from it. Any gunners out there, you beak. And thank you all for watching today. I really appreciate that. And if you do want to support my channel, please go check out my Patreon page. It is in the description box below. I will be doing a lot more streaming in the future, folks, but it will not be live streaming on YouTube. It will actually be on Twitch. So if you have the app Twitch, or you have an account on Twitch, please make sure you add me and follow me on Twitch. I will be doing a lot more live streaming on there in the future. Inclusive of that will be a new upcoming podcast known as The Gun Pit, where I'll actually be speaking with fellow gunners, fellow veterans, and fellow serving members of the artillery, both around the world and here at home. And we will be talking about just all sorts of different things, really. Military topics, personal topics, all sorts of bits and pieces that will kind of dictate, and you guys can input as to what you want us to talk about in the future. So thank you again for watching me, everyone. I appreciate it very much. Make sure you like and hit the little bell button by the subscribe button to be notified of any upcoming videos. All the best, and bye-bye.